The Walking Dead with Joel and Jeremy. My name's Joel.
I'm Jeremy. Check out all of our social media sites at thishishowtowatchtv.com and email us at TWDwithJoelandJeremy@gmail.com.
Nobody emails us.
Nobody emails us. So I should stop giving that out?
No, don't stop giving it out. We know you're out there somewhere, Walking Dead fans. There's
just probably like 37,000 other podcasts.
Yeah.
About The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Everybody has a computer. Right?
We're not special. Whatever. Season 9, Episode 5, What Comes After? So, the idea that they had to tell us in advance
would have been so much better.
Why do you think that they did it? Do you think it's because we would have been expecting him back like immediately, or for that story to continue immediately? And just to avoid like fan backlash, like they announced that he was leaving, so it wasn't like, well, what happened to Rick? That's the only thing I can come up with.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, there's suits involved somewhere here. You know what I mean?
You think so? You don't think that this could be part of their plan? Like they had to call an audible because he didn't want to be filming 9 months out of the year in Georgia. Like, I understand that. So they had to call an audible to take him out of that regular filming.
Did you do that?
I did that.
Oh, you did that?
Over a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But at the end, he'll just be gone. Until, anyways.
I mean, I don't know, man. I get it. I guess I get why they did it. First of all,
could you think of a better way? Like, I didn't see any of the stuff that they did. I mean,
like,
coming.
Okay, like when they advertised the shit out of Seinfeld's final episode. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not the same thing. I understand that was a sitcom. I get it. Like, there was no like real overarching storyline that had to be wrapped up and come to an end.
Yeah.
But like, it almost felt like that to me. Like Rick Grimes' final episode. Like it was like a marketing ploy. But I guess the way they did it, I understand. There would have been a lot of questions. It sort of makes sense.
You'd be like, okay, well, I can't wait to see next episode and see where he goes. Or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I guess if they would have went into the preview after that, showing where they were going, like with the time jump.
Right, but you'd still think, we got to see Rick.
See, I don't know, man. I almost think it would have been more fun to leave everybody guessing.
Oh, it absolutely would have. To be like, oh, people would have thought he's done with the show. And then, boom, he goes and... Whatever, we'll get there. Anyway.
I don't know.
I didn't get why they had to tell
us. The AMC execs had to... I think it was part money, part what you're saying.
You think any of it had to do
with...
Part
marketing ploy, you know what I mean?
What I was saying before about they said they had a 10-year plan, a 10-year plan for the expanded universe of Walking Dead. Like, you think this could have been part of it? Like, maybe they were... I don't think they were going to do that, but maybe they were. Maybe we'll find out Jadis comes from there. Like, that's where she, she got put at the trash dump. You know
and what do you think what do you think they are? Where do you think this is? Well, this is getting into us actually talking about the show. So, like,
right.
What do you think? Where do you think?
River, you have to go. We're doing a podcast right now. No, out. Walks in with the show playing on her phone, super loud. What was your question?
She's watching the latest episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What was your question?
Where do you think that she comes from? Like you say, she came from there.
Okay, hypothesizing.
What is where? Who is where? Who are these people? Who is this other group? Well, they have a fucking helicopter.
Okay,
do they have more helicopters? Do they have other things than a helicopter? Do they have missile launchers? Do they have tanks? Do they have an army? Is this the government? What's left over of the government, like we discussed, I think, on a recent podcast? Like,
I don't know if it's any of those things. I think it might be some version of it, but a lot more
this is
rudimentary than we imagine.
Rudimentary? You mean like
it won't be as high tech, or not high tech, because obviously power's a rarity. I mean, obviously they'd have power. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's going to be like people in nice dress uniforms and You know, like military style.
Or doing the right thing. Yeah, no.
I mean, it's possible.
It's
possible is all I'm saying. It's not likely, but it's possible that.
What I'm saying is like there has to be something left of that. We've discussed that. There has to be something left of
government.
Of government.
But A's or B's? I mean, does that sound like
studying them? I don't know, man.
Government code?
It's weird. So that's what we determined an A and B is, right? Though.
What?
We kind of got the answer to what that was, right?
Sort of.
Is it a zombie or a person?
Oh, okay.
She was totally going to turn
I didn't
what's
get
his face
what you were
into a
saying
zombie.
by that. So yeah, that makes more sense. That's way better than like
B is human,
good guy,
A is
bad
zombie.
guy, you know, friend, enemy. It just means
A is
alive
zombie,
or dead.
Yeah. A is dead, B is living. She was going to kill.
That's interesting because now you're talking about.
Somebody said blood type. I was like, no.
It's interesting that they put A as the dead. First choice is dead versus living.
Because they outnumber.
Yeah. I mean, but that's. I'm just saying that's cool that that's the reality in that world. That they just walkers are the first, then humans. Like classification is interesting like that.
So are we going to... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask you this on air. Are we just going to discuss the...
We're just talking about the episode.
But the trailer.
Yeah, we can talk about that too. Okay. Why not?
Just do you want to save it for later?
Yeah, whatever. We can talk about that at the end. Yeah, okay. once we get to that stuff. But I mean, we're hypothesizing about...
So like they managed to make it like a... It was good, man. I
fucking loved this episode. It might be my favorite one of the series.
Of the series total?
Of the series total. Name me a better episode than fucking Shane coming back, Herschel coming back, Lori. She spoke.
I didn't see her.
No. But the actress did voice over the part.
When I missed that?
I can go. I mean, I guess when I go through it, I'll mention it because I'm not sure exactly where it was.
I must have missed that.
Right.
But
so,
I liked them bringing back, but it was almost like they did flashbacks, but not flashbacks, like altered flashbacks. Like he was, I don't know. I guess that's kind of what it would be like if you're like.
Is the implication that it was like sort of the afterlife, kind of like a Desmond kind of thing?
I don't know if it was that. I think it was just him.
He was dying.
It's like what you say is like what they say. Your life flashes before your eyes.
Okay, so maybe in that sense,
something like that. You know,
right.
He's remembering all the shit that he did. They untied him from the show.
Yeah,
with Carl. They untied. He has
but
no.
They didn't. Michonne and Judith. You could say Judith's not his, and and Shane did, but that's fine. But
like, how invested were you really in Michonne and Rick?
Quite by the end of it, yeah. No, not into them.
I mean, not to where
they seem perfect for each other. Whereas like Lori and him were always at each other's. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. She seemed like what he needed, and he seems like what she needed. To get through this kind of a fucking world. Lori wasn't going to fucking do it.
She was never going to make it.
No, she wasn't like...
She wasn't made for this.
Like Negan said about Lucille. She wasn't made for this. She wasn't made for this world. So this one started off with him talking to himself in the hospital room with Atlanta outside, and you saw just swarms of birds flying around, and I yelled doing on at least one viewing. Then the birds became helicopters, and you hear Morgan say, "What is your wound?"
Yeah.
So, because he was the one who asked him that when he came to his house. And then Rick says, "Wake up, asshole."
Yeah.
From the bed. That was cool, how they made him look exactly like he did at the time.
And Shane, like how they made him look exactly like he did sitting in the
I have some qualms about Shane.
Why?
I just, it didn't feel right.
I thought you said you liked it.
I loved that he came back, but that doesn't mean I can't have minor gripes about it. My complaint is that he didn't get the accent right. Like, it didn't sound like Shane. It sounded like...
The Punisher.
It sounded like he was trying a little bit, but it's like, dude, just watch the pilot. And then do that again. You know, like, it didn't feel like he was quite right as Shane. There was no forehead rubbing, you know, just like all the things that are staples of Shane. Those kind of things were the only thing that took me out of it at all.
I don't remember.
You don't remember Shane?
Come on. Not that I don't remember Shane.
Okay.
I mean, he was a part of what?
First 2 seasons.
So 16 episodes?
Nope. 20.
20.
Something like that. It was maybe 15 in the second season.
22 episodes or something like that. We're on season 9.
Fuck, he said it all, though, about the...
I mean, I get it. So, like, he wasn't really that integral...
No, but he was. He said, I am the bad guy.
He set it up. Like, I guess, like, he sent Rick into being Rick Grimes, whatever. But, I don't know, man. Like, he's been away from the show for a long time, man. And for him to just come and do the small part, I don't know. Some of it looked weird. They did a good job of making it look like a dream, heavenly, kind of weird thing. You know, like when he was standing there with Herschel. Would you lose your notes?
No, I was trying to find something that I found earlier that was really cool about... Maybe I copied and pasted it in here or something. No, I didn't. It was talking about how, like, Shane is Rick's courage. Herschel is... Fuck, something...
Rick's compassion?
Something like that. And then Michonne is his family. You know, it's like...
What about Carl?
His love or whatever.
See, that was what...
They fucked the actor over, man.
Who? The Carl actor?
Yeah.
How'd they fuck him up? What do you mean?
Because they told him he was turning 18, and they told him, go ahead and apply to colleges around here, buy a house, you'll be on the show for a while, and then killed him off like the next season. Yeah. So, I mean,
That's why he wouldn't come back.
Maybe not. Maybe they didn't want him back. Maybe they have some beef there. I don't know what it could be, but I mean, maybe there's some... I don't know. I can't really think of any reason not to bring him back other than too soon, maybe.
You know what, dude?
They're moving the story to Judith.
You know what's messed up, though? Is that I didn't even have that thought until just now.
What, that Carl wasn't there?
That Carl wasn't.
I was like, Laurie and Carl? Like, I'm pretty sure I said that while we were watching it. Like, it seemed like the logical... But that wasn't the story they were telling. The story they were telling is that he already has his family. Michonne and
I guess
Judith
that they kept saying
family.
that. He's, look, I need to find my family. But you're not going to find... They kept saying, you don't... That's not what you need.
Right.
Right. You already have that.
Uh-huh.
You're going to have to go away. You're distracting me.
So Rick wakes up and he uses his belt to pull himself off the rebar and barely gets to the horse in time. The thing that annoyed me is there something with horses where they have to turn towards a horde of zombies and spin around before they can walk away?
Like they did it every time.
Yeah. It was super irritating. Like, you don't have that sort of wiggle room. What are you doing?
Like, move your
and then when
fat ass.
When the horse reared up again and almost threw Rick off into the herd.
Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking. And, like, I get it, like, why he couldn't just be like, yeah, fucking, let's get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And he's got a big hole in his side. So, like, he couldn't, like, move at a fast pace to get away. But, yeah, man, it was relentless. Like, it just kept coming after him. It must have been, like, you saw them all on the street, like, I forget what scene it was. Like, when he rode away, when you were like, Jesus Christ, they were just, the whole road was full of them. So, like, that's just one road. Like, they probably were in the woods, too, like, possibly, spread out, like a big fucking herd. I don't know, man. What do you think of this evolving zombie thing?
I don't think they're going to be talking. I still don't think that's the case. I don't know why I don't think it. I just don't. I just don't believe that they're going to evolve that much that all of a sudden they can speak. Because the implications are too far-reaching to try to fucking even bother explaining or justifying within it. I can't wait
till the first time one of those motherfuckers takes off running at somebody.
Right, shit like that. That would be interesting.
Shit changes the game, dude. I'm telling you, we've had this discussion many times on this podcast.
That changes everything. But
people say, "Oh, could you survive the zombie apocalypse?" My first fucking question is, do they run? Are they running zombies? If they're running zombies, we're all fucked.
Yeah, no, there's no getting away from
nobody's surviving that.
I am not Legend.
Right. if they're just like walkers, like The Walking Dead, do they change the name of the show to The Running Dead?
The Running Dead.
Fuck, that is not funny. Why am I laughing at myself?
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the idea that they would have to, because it's literally built into the premise of the show.
I mean, like, can you imagine that scene? Like they're standing there and they're watching like a herd or like a group of them walk by, and like they're all standing there and like a group like just like trying to be quiet, and like one of them like turns at them and shit, and it's just like. Just runs at him and shit, like fucking Attack on Titan.
Right, like one of the irregulars.
Fucking like, whoa, white, like the whites from Game of Thrones, like.
Yeah, there's no getting away from that shit.
Well, and those motherfuckers carry weapons and shit too. Like, yeah.
No, running zombies equals the end of humanity.
I'm sorry, it's over.
It's pretty much done. You're gonna have to wipe all of them out.
It's over.
You're gonna spend all your time killing all the zombies. That's about the only hope you got.
And like you're gonna, in like the numbers that you will like, there's no way, because they will be killing your people too. And those people are coming back as zombies. It's done.
And then they're running at you.
And they're running at you. I'm sorry, man. I can't think of any other like a scarier situation than running zombies. Walkers, like, I feel like with enough, inner determination and will to like save the ones you love, you could probably survive the walking things. I mean, if they're running,
yeah, no, forget it. Just it's over. So something interesting that Anne said that made me think maybe she's with them or had been with them prior. Is if I need evacuation, you know that I'm desperate. Like it sounds like she's saying evacuation like it's their code, and like she's on a mission.
Right. So she was on a mission the whole time, like an undercover mission?
It was just a thought. Like maybe she started with these people and got dropped off there to do something.
Like
I don't know.
The weird shit that people turned to when this all went down.
But maybe that was bullshit. Maybe that was an act. Maybe that was her way to...
I was talking about whatever the other people are doing.
Oh, I was talking about
the garbage
Anne.
People.
Like when she adopted that persona to persuade those people to follow her, essentially. But yeah, sorry, what about the government people? They were doing what?
The weird shit that they're doing. What are they doing with the A's and the B's? Like the weird shit that people have turned to. Negan, the way he handled his situation is straight. Governor, like all of these people like have handled these. Like he was cutting fucking off heads and putting them in aquariums and shit. Like they turn to weird shit. It's like, oh, there's no rules anymore?
Right. Let's just indulge ourselves.
I'm going to indulge whatever weird, dark fucking thing that I'm going to do.
Right. You know there's somebody fucking these things.
Oh, God. Come on, man. I haven't even had that thought. That's disgusting.
Well, you said indulge everything, and it was like, yeah, people are going to go
gross. There. Like, how can that even be a thing?
You know that somebody out there in this world... Look at the fucked up shit you've seen.
I'm not putting it past it. I know that we'll see it on screen.
God, no. Please don't.
Not the actual act
of
it,
but I don't even want to
even the implication of it, right? Like I don't think we'll see that.
It's the implication. Have you seen that? It's Always Sunny.
Not new ones.
No, it's an older one. Dennis and Mac are in a hardware store, and Dennis is like, "No, we'll take him out on a boat," and they won't say no because of the implication. And Mac doesn't get what he's talking about.
Right.
He's like, "Are you saying we're gonna like murder them?" Or
no, it's the implication. It's implied. Yeah, I remember that. That's funny. It's a funny scene.
They redid a scene from Seinfeld on It's Always Sunny.
Like I thought I saw that in like a commercial or a preview or something.
Yeah, like shot for shot of the part in the contest where they're looking out the window across at the girl. They're trying not to jerk off. Like it was the master of their domain thing. You never saw that episode of Seinfeld? It's like the most popular episode. Basically, they place a bet to see who can go the longest without jerking off.
Okay, yes, I've seen that episode.
Yeah. So, but It's Always Sunny redid it, and everybody's playing the character you think they would. Charlie's playing Kramer, Dee's playing Elaine, Frank is playing Costanza. Mac and Dennis are both playing Jerry. It's such a Mac and Dennis. It's fucking great.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So... some of the stuff Rick is mumbling to himself. I need to keep them safe. I need to stay awake, lead them away. I mean, he's still just kind of in autopilot. At
He's
that
trying
point.
to, like, he has a determined, like, he can't let this herd
Right.
run through there, like, right into Hillside or wherever they said it was going to go.
So Maggie's riding on her horse with the girl who I can't remember her name, but she's one of, like, the soldiers from the kingdom.
Yeah.
She fucking Negans a walker with a crowbar. Maggie does. Like, she took it out, and then she Neganed the shit out of it,
like,
and just smashed its fucking head.
She was practicing.
Right.
This is what she was going to do to Negan with the crowbar.
Okay.
That's a discussion. The wet sack of shit that Negan was. Moving on. That was disappointing.
So Rick finds an abandoned cabin, ties off the wound, passes out, and this time he's leading the herd down the same road from the pilot.
Right.
Into Atlanta.
Yeah, it was cool, yeah.
It says, I'm looking for my family. Then we hear, Lori, what's your wound?
All right. Okay.
She says it there. And then Shane, I just have to read some of this stuff because I loved their interaction. I just wish he sounded more like Shane.
Okay.
It felt like he forgot the character a bit. That's all.
I can't say that I blame him. Yeah. He's been away from the show for what, 7 years?
Yeah. But still, watch an episode and just be like, do that.
Go, do your homework, man. Yeah.
Shane, goddamn cowboy.
Like, he's a big star now with the Punisher and everything, and now he's like, I fucking got it.
Oh, but he wanted to stay on Walking Dead. He didn't want to be killed off.
Right.
He liked that role. I think he would have come back to it no matter what. I'm glad he came back. Like I said, that was just it's a minor sticking point.
Do you ever get a mini series? Like how they got to the campground or like the campsite or whatever.
You can't do it now though.
Why? Because Dale's dead.
Carl.
What
are you going to do?
Growing up, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you'd have to have another kid play him or something.
Yeah, another young kid play him, and then how long does? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So
work, yeah.
he says, "Goddamn cowboy, you look like shit." They share food and talk about old times, and he's like, "One could argue it's my family you're looking for."
Right.
How is my baby girl? And then they both kind of agree they're assholes.
Yeah.
And he says something about, what did he say? Oh, she's like, luckily she doesn't have your nose.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, my ears either, or some shit. And then Shane takes credit for Rick's assholeness. He's like, I'm sure other people helped, but I'm taking full credit for that.
Yeah.
Shane's glad Rick did what he did in the field. And then Rick's saying, it's got to be me. And Shane's like, no, it's got to be me. Like, you got to be me. Going forward.
Right.
Yeah. The only way it gets done, like how you bit that guy's throat out, asshole in the church with a machete, Gavin, and he chopped him the fuck up.
That's what I need from you right now.
Yeah, it's time to find the rage, the loyalty. And then Rick apologizes for what he did to Shane. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. He's like, what you need to do is... And he lunged at him, dude. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was the coolest of those transitions from reality or the dream to reality.
And then there was walkers all over the fucking...
Yeah, and he fucking punches his way out of the cabin. Through the wall. That's what he did.
No, he didn't.
He absolutely fucking did.
He just punched his way through?
Yes.
I thought he shoulder blocked his way out of it.
Punch.
I mean, it was old, shitty wood.
Right,
it would have been easy. Yeah, but
he couldn't kick it or stand up and ram it. He had no pressure behind it. He basically just punched his way out of a cabin.
Superhero.
Right.
The fucking cowboy.
Somebody said they heard at the
Python.
end, "There Goes My Hero" playing, in their head when he flew away at the end.
Cowboy boots and a Colt Python. I want a T-shirt that says that.
I mean, I feel like somebody who could make that happen.
Right.
A cowboy hat. Oh, no, he didn't really wear the hat.
Well, Carl wore the hat.
Yeah, and it wasn't a cowboy hat. It was a cop hat.
Judith Grimes. Hi, my name's Judith Grimes.
Whatever, dude. That was awesome. I watched it again. I fucking loved that shit. That was so cool.
Yeah, because she's just headshotting zombies with that giant gun that she couldn't even fucking lift, probably. That's a Colt Python. It's not just
That's
like
what
a fucking...
people were complaining about. They're like, she couldn't deal with the recoil of that.
Blah! I'll knock her the fuck out. I mean, that's a giant fucking weapon. Come on. Really?
Well, before that, young Judith is playing with seashells. Maggie shows up. The way she turned and said, Aunt Maggie, it reminded me of River. you know, just like happy and fucking, you know, excited to see somebody, and it was just good kid acting. Okay, so her and Michonne at the jail. Do you think Glenn would want you to go through me to get to him? And she's like, I don't know what Glenn would want. I didn't get to say goodbye. Just like Michonne doesn't get to say goodbye to Rick later.
Right.
You know, just a nice little parallel there.
Mm-hmm.
If it happened to Michonne, Negan would have been dead a long time ago, and you fucking know it. You know what I mean? She's just trying to plead her case, and she's like, it's been a year and a half, and I can't turn it off. And she's just like, here.
I mean, do you think Michonne did the right thing? I mean, it goes against what she's been trying to do with the charter and all that shit. It's not. It goes against everything she's been trying to stand for.
Like, I think what she wanted ultimately was for it to be sorted out, rather than continue to torture Maggie when she's the one who was wrong to begin with. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think she had any idea that it would go the way that it did. But she also doesn't really know what happened. But still, it's just, I don't think...
Who doesn't know what happened?
Michonne. Like, she doesn't really know what happened in there with Negan. Like, how it went down with her. But, like, I think she had to make her peace with it. Like, you know what? You are right. I would have done it too. I would have gone and killed him, but she's going to go talk to him. And you know what I mean? Like, it works out for the best. She sorted out all the problems by handing her the keys. Really, it left it to Maggie to figure out whether she really wanted to kill this person or not. And by not doing it,
right?
You know, like,
I mean, I don't think like.
I think also. No, I guess this is a spoiler, but it's not a spoiler. She's done for a while. That's the last of her this season.
Maggie?
Uh-huh.
For this season? Really?
Yeah.
Where did she... I forget where she ended up at. She was running... She was at the bridge, right? She
was at the bridge, yeah. But then we time jump 6 years.
Okay, so she's just going to be...
She'll just be probably off with Georgie.
Okay. So they'll just mention that and casually kind of brush off where she went. She'll come back, though, so she didn't announce her end.
She's not leaving.
They didn't announce Rick and Maggie's last episode. No, so she'll be back.
Yes, she will.
But I mean, it's probably hard work what they've been doing for 9 fucking years now.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so her talk with Negan. Where are they getting all this bread for the sandwiches? Is bread that easy to make?
I have no idea.
Like, there's not still grocery stores with bread in it. It's been way too long. That shit would all be moldy. So, like, they have to be making fresh bread.
They're making bread.
Okay. Well, it just seemed ridiculous.
You have to grow wheat or
I want a sandwich that looks as good as Negan's.
No shit sometimes, right? Really? Like, that shit had some, like, Thousand Island on it? Like, what the hell?
So, Negan's money was on Maggie being the one to kill him. She tells him to get on his knees, and he retells the story of killing Glenn. And does so with gusto to piss her off. And I was trying to figure out why he was trying to piss her off. And at the time, I thought it was to get out. But it was
to get her to unlock the cell. He genuinely wanted her to kill him.
Right.
I didn't think that was the case until he started crying like a wet sack of shit.
Right. She told him to see him in the light, and he's like, you know, he begs her not to make him, and then she throws him out, and his hair's all patchy, and he didn't bust up his face as I thought it was going to be. You know, the forehead thing, slamming it into the wall.
Yeah, like they never went anywhere with that.
It was nothing, really. It was just like a little wound. And he's, like, begging her to kill him, and she demands to know why she should kill him. And he's like, I want to be with Lucille. I have to be dead, and he can't do it himself. It's supposed to be her. Please don't make me stay like this. And then she's just like, get back in your cell.
Right. Like, do you, like, we'll see. I guess they did a good job of keeping the tension up there to where, like, oh, man, is he going to make a move? But, like, that feeling kind of went away when he started sobbing.
I still thought it was a ploy.
For a second, man. But, yeah, I get it. But, like...
Imagine if he just, like, stood up and fucking slammed her face into the... You know what I mean? Just, like, destroyed her right there. You'd have been like, holy fucking shit.
And then got out. But, see, he would have walked out right into Michonne.
Yeah.
And I don't think in a weakened state that he was in, he would have been able to take Michonne.
Right. It wouldn't have gone anywhere, but it would have, you know what I mean?
He would not have gotten out.
No.
But I don't know, man. So now what part does he play going forward in this time jump?
Something.
Well, yeah, obviously.
We saw him in that.
You think they let him out with Rick being gone, and they never let him out. Maggie seeing what a sorry sack of shit doesn't. Michonne.
No, because if they take him out, they unbreak him.
Yeah, but maybe he just becomes a part of their group then.
But how do you ever trust him?
I don't know that you can.
Right.
But 6 year, whatever. I mean, like, how old was it? A 3-year time jump?
6-year time jump.
6-year time jump
from when Rick leaves.
Okay. They said 6 years.
Yep.
Okay.
It would take about that long for Carol's hair to grow that long.
I mean, really.
Uh-huh.
It'll be cool, interesting to see the fresh look. Everybody's going to have a different look to them.
Right.
You know, people what I mean? 6 years later, kids have grown up. The people have different hair. Like their faces will look different. Like it'll like Carol with the long hair. Like it's a fresh look for the show. You know what I mean? Like she's never looked like that in The Walking Dead. Now she's going to look like this wise old wizard woman with a bow and arrow.
So anyway, she came to kill Negan, and you're already worse than dead. That settles it.
I mean, I think she immediately felt better.
Yeah.
Like after he's sad sack of shit walked back into his cell and she locked him back up.
Right, because she said get back in your cell and he just walked in and closed the door behind himself.
Yes. He closed the door himself, which is I thought that was really symbolic of
his
okay,
defeat.
he's fucking broken.
But I still thought he had something when he kneeled down in front of the bed. I thought he was going to show a key or whatever it was.
Right,
some part of
how
plan.
It wouldn't have worked though because she would have been like, "Where's the fucking keys, dude?" Like
I need to lock the
give me the keys or I'm gonna maybe that would have been another attempt. Maybe he would have made a move to try to do it so she would defend herself and kill him. That probably would have been what to do if he really wanted to get it. Make a move, right? Make it a lame ass move, but make a move and she'll hit you.
Unless this is his move to stay alive. Beg
You're
for her to kill him.
It ready for me.
Yeah, but beg for her to kill him.
What a turn, though! In it, from that conversation with Rick to the conversation with Maggie.
Again, it could be a play. He could have known she's going to kill me.
That almost makes me think it was more of a play.
Yeah.
That was his way of getting out of being murdered by her right there.
He made her think he fucking gave up. I didn't think that till just now, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. I almost like that better than him being the sad sack of shit that he's playing. That was his... When she showed up, that was his only way out.
Yeah.
Because he thought it through. He said...
He provoked her like Negan would, and then, you know what I mean?
If I get her... Okay, I don't know, but what if that goes the opposite way then? What if she does kill him?
Right, but I don't know.
I don't know. It may not have been a great plan if that was the
case. Because he was talking
shit
in the dark. It was a way to get him to show himself. All of it could have been part of a plan.
Yeah, I mean...
when she sees me, maybe that's why he did it. Maybe that's why he smashed his face a little bit, just to add to the sad sack, and then ripping out his own hair or whatever. It's... I'm thinking it's a play. I think it's a way...
It's the long con.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to end up with all the guns. Rick mumbling again.
That's one of my favorite Lost episodes. The long con. There's a new sheriff in town.
Mm-hmm. He passes out and hears, "What's your wound?" This time it's Beth.
Okay.
Herschel's there. Rick apologizes for what happened to him, Beth and Glenn. Maggie, but he's like, Maggie's strong and the baby will only make her stronger. And he's like, I need to find my family. He's like, no, you don't. You only think you do. Rick hopes he can find them here. And he's like, no, you got to wake up. So this time Rick is in the hospital walking down that first corridor.
Right.
And the doors say, don't open, dead outside.
Instead of dead inside.
And this time, what's your wound? Abraham.
Well, see, I wasn't listening to all the different voices.
Yeah. It was all different people. And it was credited on the subtitles. That's the only reason I know that. But then I listened back and I'm like, yep, that's definitely Abraham.
Abraham, yeah. That's cool.
He opens it to a terrible CGI field of bodies. I mean, it was okay, but
seen worse.
Yeah.
Definitely seen worse.
Sasha shows up.
Once upon a time.
Why her? Why Sasha? And not other people?
Well, if you look closely at the bodies, you definitely see some people you'd recognize in there.
Right.
Maybe not their faces, but their shapes. Like you saw...
Beth leaned over with her...
Yes.
To where you didn't know if it was her.
Is his name Tyrese?
Yeah.
right?
Well, Tyrese with the always wore the like little stocking hat, cut his arm off and he died in the road. Or are you talking about T-Dog?
T-Dog was the original dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyrese was the guy who, like, you thought he died in the road, but he had fought his way out.
Right.
But then he died later on after he cut his arm off or something like that.
Yeah, he got bit when he was, like, in a house looking at something. He was in a weak moment, and all of a sudden, like, somebody's brothers, I think it was Everybody Hates Chris, like, when that guy was in there.
Okay. Like, he was around for a couple seasons, though, that guy. Because he was with Sasha's group. Like, him and Sasha were together to start with.
Yep.
Like that, you saw him laying there because he always had like the gun belt on. So he was laying there like slumped over.
Right.
And then like I don't know, like as you have to go back and look closely, I guess. Again, but I bet you could pick most of like the main characters that have died. Yeah. You even saw some of the.
But Daryl was laying there. Everybody was dead. It was what was the point of that? And she's like,
was that actually Daryl though? I thought it was just somebody that kind of looked like him.
I think that was the point. Is that it was him. Like everybody was supposed to be dead at this point. Sasha says it's okay. He's like because you did your part.
Yeah, were Sasha and Rick that close?
No, but I think the only reason is because of the thing she says here. Oh wait, shit! Did I not even write it down? She says they gave us the strength that we needed to do what we had to do for the others. We change each other, going forward. And it's never the end of everything. We don't die. It's about all of us. This is the part. It crosses over towards good, towards the brave, towards love. And Rick was like repeating it with her. So maybe that was something she had said to him before. And so that was the reason that she was showing up to him to say that particular part. You're not going to find your family because they aren't lost, and you're not lost. Wake up. So this time he fell off the horse and it ran away, like super fast, like it should have done every other time he was not on it. When the herd was walking towards it was from two directions, it just sat there calmly.
It didn't sit there calmly. It was like, agitated and. He's lucky it stuck around as long as it did.
Right. He's at the camp by the bridge, and the dead arrive, and he takes a few out with his gun, but then, like, the herd arrives and starts knocking over shit and falling. When that one fell over the tent, that was fucking hilarious.
The whole tent came flopping down from the trees and shit. They just tore up the whole little camp they had set up there.
Right.
Like, it was like the builder's camp.
Right.
Right.
So Rick goes towards the bridge. He falls, and the group shows up to save him. Michonne consoles him. He tells her to take care of them, and she's like, "We don't die."
So, like, don't you think that? I don't hear. My brain just went somewhere else real quick. Like,
okay,
the walkers go towards fire, right?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they? Like, I know the herds are huge and it's probably dangerous, but like, napalm, like the center, like launch a giant Molotov cocktail into the center of a herd, like so they would all just kind of close in and burn. Notch a couple of them into a herd.
It's
and
a matter of
they would, like,
I
mean, the noise. First of all, bam.
Isn't that what they did in that big pit at the beginning of season 6? Or did they not kill them? They just left that herd in there.
What?
The big pit.
Like the quarry?
Yeah.
No, they got out of there.
All of them did?
You remember they had it blocked off with a truck or something, and the truck fell? Like that was like the impending doom. They all got out of there. And like Rick led them away or something.
Right.
Forget what they did to do that, to get out of that. But so, I don't know. Okay.
She says, "You want to know why I fell in love with you? Because you're a fighter and you'll never give up. Fight, Rick. Fight for me. Fight for all of us." And he's like, "You're my family. I found you." Like he had that realization. He's like, "But this isn't real." She goes, "Yes, it is, but wake up." How did you imagine that there was a walker right about to bite his lip? Like with how close she was? Like,
yeah. Oh, did you? Oh, you thought that was what it was going to be?
Yeah, but no, he woke up and they're 30 feet away.
Right.
Like, I don't understand. I get it.
The logistics?
It's plot armor, but come on.
Yeah.
None of them made a beeline for him. No, none of them can run.
Right.
I mean, not a little bit.
We have not seen a zombie run yet. That's a huge moment in the show. If that happens, that's huge.
Yeah.
The first time one of those motherfuckers runs, I'm going to sit up out of my chair and go, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, we're screwed. Rick makes it across the bridge, and then when he says it's going to hold, it was like, fuck.
They built because it wasn't supposed to.
Right.
It wasn't done. But that was some thick-ass planks of wood they had put, it's just people.
Right.
It's not like machinery you were crossing there. Right. I mean,
he gives in pretty much just as Daryl shows up and shoots that walker.
Fuck.
I mean, inches away. He's like, fuck it, I can't do this. And basically gave himself up and did that 2 or 3 times. But they're on the other side of the bridge.
You had to be with a crossbow.
I'd say probably roughly 10 years worth of stuff. That's how long they've been out there?
Yeah, but he went, a season and a half without it or something, and what is his name? Took it. He wasn't using the crossbow for a long time. But I don't know, man. He was just squaring up zombies, just in the side of the head, with one try.
Yeah.
You got to be fucking good, man. And I guess in this world, it is what it is. If he misses, it's like, oh, yeah, he's getting bit now.
Right.
Anybody see that? Oh, okay.
Michonne and Maggie try to run up to help, but like we said, they're on the other side of the bridge.
Right.
Rick waves off their help. Daryl's still taking walkers out, and then the walkers knock over some dynamite.
So, okay, I'm trying to put this together. Were they on the same side of the bridge as the herd, right?
Yes.
He was on the opposite side. Right.
The only one on the opposite side, right. Yes. So he blows up the bridge as Michonne yells for him. I found them, he says. Meaning his family, and blows it up. Daryl cries. The walkers barrel into the water on fire, and somehow Rick didn't get blown backwards away from the bridge.
No, he got blown up and inwards towards the bridge and landed in the water.
That's how explosions work. Yeah. He was 10, 20, 30 feet off the bridge, maybe. There's no scenario in which he...
I mean, the explosion would go,
pushing outwardly.
So he would have flew backwards.
So he crawled into the water with all the walkers.
What happened?
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Daryl looks lost, and he walks into the woods, and Michonne is obviously distraught. So Anne is watching the smoke from the explosion and listening on the radio to the chaos that's ensuing. Oh, Rick, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The helicopter shows up, and she pulls out a gun, then notices Rick on the side of the river. Didn't even notice it the first time.
What was she about to do?
Kill them?
She was about to take the chopper, you think?
Yeah, something.
Okay.
And she radioed she has a B. She never had an A. She tosses her gun and says she's trying to save a friend that saved her. So, I mean, again, back at the junkyard, she could have had all those walkers to give to them. Potentially, the helicopter people.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why she did that.
Right.
Meat ground them up so they couldn't be used for whatever they're being used for. She knew what their...
change of heart.
Yeah.
Well, plus all her people died.
That's what I mean. She had befriended these people.
That's where you go, though. That's what it is. That would be why she did that. Never connected that, but you can't connect that until now.
Well, you couldn't connect it until now. But if she was a part of this other group before, but then she made friends with all these people, she loved these people or whatever, and didn't want them to be used.
She's like, I'm not going to give them up as A's.
So what do you think they're trying to do? Do you think they're trying to bring them back to life?
That'd be the shit.
That
would be so
I don't know, man. Everybody, all of these people that he's run into, I guess the basic rules are the same with the walkers, but all of the different groups he's run into along the way have dealt with the zombies differently.
Right.
They've all had their own little niche way of dealing with them, Herschel was locking them up in the barn in hopes that
they were still in there,
be able to be saved.
Yeah.
The governor was chopping their heads off and putting them in aquariums. The other people, the wolves was a very small part of the story that I thought was going to be bigger, but
I thought
didn't end up
sure
being.
That was going to be bigger.
They still could possibly come back. Did we ever find the leader of that group?
I don't think so.
I don't think we ever found the but see, that almost makes sense though, that they were just have a run-in with this group and not really find out what's going on there, Or did they get taken out basically when they tried to attack Alexandria? Because the wolves tried to attack Alexandria, didn't they?
Yes.
And then they all got taken out
there.
Okay, so maybe that was the end of them. But they were, going back to what I was saying, they were carving W's in their foreheads and putting them in and setting traps with them.
Right.
You know, like everybody's dealt with this a little differently, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, Jadis dumps her gun, says she's got to save a friend who saved her, and the song from the pilot episode plays. That's the same song that played when Glenn radioed Rick in the tank.
Oh, yeah?
And then it pulled away.
Still one of my favorite shots from the whole series.
Well, yeah, so that was at the end of the pilot episode, which I thought was a really cool, like,
that was
tie-in.
The end of the pilot episode?
Yeah. When Rick was in the tank.
Oh, that was the end of the episode.
He's like, hey, dumbass, or, you know, or whatever.
Oh, it was. Like, dude, like, I watched that episode live. I had still had cable back then. Like, I watched that episode when it aired. I had seen ads for The Walking Dead and whatever, and it was coming out. So I was like, yeah, I'll fucking check it out. I remember, like, I don't know why, like, I really liked it. Like, the pilot was excellent, you know, obviously. But, like, I didn't get into the show after that. I don't know why. Like, I don't think I even finished watching the season on, like, live television. Like, I don't think I did. But, like, that scene where he's, like, crawling under the tank, and still one of my favorite scenes of the whole fucking show, like, ever. Like, he's crawling under the tank, and they're crawling under him, like, they're closing in on him, and he just fucking, like, it's like, fuck it. He, like, lays back, and he's like, I'm gonna blow my brains out, you know? And, dude, like, he lays back, and he opens his eyes, and the fucking opening to the tank is right above him. He's like, oh, my God, and just, like, crawls in the tank. Like, I was just like, holy shit, that was intense. You know, like, that was a cool, I mean, I don't know why I'm just saying this. It was a cool scene, but, like, that, I will never forget that part, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of those scenes that sticks with me from the show. That, the moonshine cabin, like, sticks with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really liked that episode for some reason. Daryl and Beth, like, that was a really good episode. Like, that, for some reason, that was when
that was one of
season
the more
4, like,
Daryl talking episodes.
And just when I bought into the show. Like, I don't think I had even bought into the show up until that point.
Look at the flowers.
Right. Well, it was just more, I guess it took me a while to be like, oh, okay.
Right.
I get the show now.
Right. It's not about the walkers.
Zombies.
It's about the people.
Right.
Just like Lost isn't about the mysteries. Game of Thrones. I mean, I guess Game of Thrones could be about, like, the who's going to sit on the Iron Throne, but it's more about the people and... Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, man, that show doesn't end well.
So...
nobody gets the happy ending. I'm sorry. It just can't... It's not going to happen.
So what do you think about Rick just flying off on the helicopter and it going off into the distance and then, like, the music just stopping and then boom, we're 6 years later?
Okay.
Yeah? Like, the barn was all broken down and shit that it was there, that was all nice when Rick flew away. It kept on the same shot and then boom, 6 years later, and it's just like everything's all decrepit and fucked up.
It was a barn that wasn't being used?
Not for their purposes. This was just out in the middle of nowhere where Jadis got picked up. A new group of people show up, and I'm like, why do they look so familiar? I feel like I know these people.
They were in the trailers.
That's not why I recognize them. That girl was from The 100.
The 100. I think they were all in, like, different shows.
Yeah. The guy looked familiar.
I'm trying to figure out where to place them at, but yes, they were all in different shows. She was definitely from The 100. I'm trying to picture their faces now, but, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they've all been in other shit that we've watched. Yeah.
So they're surrounded by walkers in a field, and then all of a sudden, a few shots ring out.
The dude with the big eyeballs has definitely been in a bunch of stuff. Right. The bigger guy he's been in a bunch of stuff. You think it's like a badge of honor almost as an actor? Like, yeah, I died in The Walking Dead.
Right.
Like, I was zombified.
Right.
Like the dude, like Captain Vale, and the dude from Black Sails that was killed, like, early in the season. Like, it's like almost like a badge of honor. Like, if I was on The Walking Dead and I turned into a zombie.
Right. Yeah. So somebody shoots out part of the herd. They get out. Come this way. It's clear. And girls standing there. They what are your names, etc. They say who they are, and she's like, and they're like, who are you? I'm Judith. I'm Judith Grimes. It was fucking awesome. She picks the hat up before she answers, puts it on. She's got the revolver,
the mini ninja sword.
Yeah, the mini Michonne ninja sword. I mean, dude, it was fucking awesome.
Right.
I can't wait for more
I'm sorry,
of that shit.
that skinny little girl could not swing that sword with enough force to cut anything off of anyone, even a zombie. So if we see her like going Yoda lightsaber on people, like flipping off of walls and like cutting zombies up, like I don't get, unless she's like Hit Girl from fucking Kick-Ass.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Kick-Ass? You never heard of Kick-Ass?
Mm-mm.
It's a movie based on a comic book, and it's about a dude who just decides to be a regular dude decides to be a vigilante. Like he gets into an accident or something, like, and he can't really feel pain, so he just gets the shit kicked out of him all the time. But there's a young chick in it, and her name is Hit Girl, and she does all kinds of like crazy martial arts and murders a bunch of people and shit.
Oh, okay.
Right. But like, how I don't understand how that little girl could use those weapons effectively. She's tiny.
I don't know. She's probably been training with them for a long time.
I guess.
Seems kind of ridiculous. Damn it! I wish I could find that thing. I swore I took a screenshot of it on my phone. I knew
What?
I fucking had it.
Her standing there?
No, it was just something that was said about the finale on Twitter at Caitlin Paget 2. Lessons we learned about the Rickception of Rick Grimes. Shane was his courage. Herschel was his heart. Sasha was his wisdom. Michonne was his home.
Okay.
I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a neat way to summarize why those characters showed up.
Okay. The Rickception.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, next episode, no Rick Grimes. We got to wait for... now. So there's going to be 3 feature-length movies on AMC, produced by AMC.
Starring Rick
Grimes, and presumably Jadis.
Okay. And maybe some of the other characters, like they might like run into... You could possibly run into Morgan.
I don't think it's going to combine with Fear. Because who knows when... First of all, the first movie's going to start shooting next year.
Okay.
But who knows when Rick will be. If we'll pick up in the present, so to speak, or if we're in that 6-year time jump with him. I would imagine the movies are going to fill in some of that time.
I think so, too.
I mean, it's got to be years. It's not like he's coming back right away, if ever.
So you think he ever rejoins the show?
Yes.
I think so, too.
I do. I absolutely think that.
Like final season, like he comes back for the final season. Like when they announce 10 years down the road, oh, this is the final season of The Walking Dead. Like he comes back and joins the show again.
I would hope so. And then Michonne and Judith are alive. And, you know. Yeah, I don't know how they end the show, but I'm excited to see where it goes for the first time in a while. Like, that's the coolest shit. Him flying off in the helicopter.
Honestly, like... I guess I'm not like super like pumped about it because I just haven't really been into this show for a while now.
It's been stagnant for a bit.
It has been.
Opening the world up is the best
I think
fucking
that's
option.
The way we've been asking for it.
Yes,
we've been talking about what can they do, and they did it. They the 6-year time jump, the helicopter taking up. They've expanded the universe.
Yeah.
Movies coming out and stuff like that. Those movies are presumably going to take place in a different part of the country, or a different area of what this is going on, like unrelated to our characters.
Right, but so, I mean, people have proposed Rick Grimes having amnesia. I think that's the stupidest fucking storyline to go with.
Oh, you fucking better not.
Yeah, I really hope that's not the case, because that's a lame-ass trope to go to. Just
no way.
But he's going to want more than anything to get back to his family, so there's going to have to be a reason he can't.
Right.
There's going to have to be a bigger purpose that's going to affect them that he has to help take care of or something. Right. You know, like they're going to put him in some sort of position of leadership. There's no way he's going to just stay and be like in somebody's jail or, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know. I don't know where they go with him.
Yeah.
It's super exciting to see where they go with him. Okay, so we'll be back next week to talk about episode 6. Check out all our other podcasts. Go to thishishowtowatchtv.com. These podcasts will also be in video on don'teva.com. That takes you to the YouTube channel. And let's see, make sure you check out all the other Jay and Jack podcasts. Go to jayandjack.com. They have a bunch of stuff on there that's definitely worth listening to. Probably one of the main reasons I do podcasts, because
Jay
of the
podcast.
Lost podcast with Jay and Jack.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, holy shit, you can do that? You can just talk about shows you like?
Right.
And waste an hour?
It was a new concept. It was.
It felt,
but I was excited. Like, I was excited the day after this episode came on to get the Jay and Jack podcast to hear what they had to say about it.
Right.
Like, it was. I don't think I discovered them until late. Like, it wasn't till.
Oh, it was final seasons.
Last 5 or
couple,
6 or yeah, if that. Yeah. But yeah.
So anyway, check out their shows. They're kind enough to let us be on their network too, to distribute it to their podcast subscribers.
Right.
And you can find us on iTunes. I'm also doing a new Lost to Time podcast. If you want to check that out, all one word, Lost to Time.
If I'm thinking correctly, I'm pretty sure that the Lost podcast with Jay and Jack was the first podcast I ever heard of.
Well, Ricky Gervais' show might have been. No, that didn't happen until after it. No, yeah, it was. It was before.
I'm pretty sure
2006.
Yeah, but I had never heard of a podcast before.
Oh, right.
I'm saying like the first time I ever heard anybody mention a podcast was the Lost podcast with Jay and Jack. No, you had to be you telling me about it.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, if you want to hear about like the urban exploration stuff that we do where we document abandoned buildings in Gary, Indiana, or anywhere else that we can drive to, check out the Lost to Time podcast. It's on iTunes, and there's also the video version on TWDwithJoelandJeremy.com.
Or if you want to learn more about my sign-making company, check out 9milebranding.com.
Is that 9 with the number? Or
9 with a number.
Okay.
Number 9, milebranding.com.
As always, subscribe on Facebook. I don't really do Twitter anymore because it's pointless. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Nobody that I care about is on there, so what's the point?
It's more of like a news gathering.
I'm shouting into the void there.
It's most like a news gathering thing. Like,
unfortunately, I get the most feedback on Facebook.
Facebook and Instagram is where it's at, I think.
Okay, well, anyway, we'll be back next week because...
This is how to watch TV.
See you later.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.